Hello, this is Gary Marr again, and in this screencast I want to talk about Google Slides. Now, you may be wondering if that's the case, why am I looking at Google Sheets? Well, I want to show you still just another way of getting around into different programs offered by Google Drive. So what I'm going to do next here is I'm going to select Select File, and then I'm going to go to the New option, and you can see I have a whole bunch of options here. We've talked about these three as part of this class, and I'm going to take Presentation again because I want to create a sample presentation. Now, what this has done is it's created a blank presentation with no themes. So the first order of business is for me to give this a name. So I'm going to call this Courseware Lab First Class. Whoops, I got a typo there. And still got a typo. There, sorry for the typos. Alright, so that's the name of my document. And by default, in a blank presentation, it gives you a title slide. So the next thing I want to do is select a theme. So let me come over here to the themes box, which is loaded automatically. Let me find a theme that I can use. Well, let's use this one. I like this one. This is kind of simple, kind of playful. And since I want this class to be somewhat informal, it might fit the theme nicely. I'm going to close my themes windows now, and I'm going to begin work on this particular slide. So I'm going to call it Welcome to Class, again, keeping an informal theme. I'm going to put my name down below. And that is my very first slide. I can also, if I wanted to at this point, come over here and apply a transition. Let's see if I have no transition currently. I can just do a dissolve for this guy. And I think that's all I really want to worry about now. I could go back and play a little bit with a background too. Let's see, change background. I can change the color. Maybe that turquoise color isn't real attractive. I want to make it more of a green color like that. I want to add a theme and I want to be done. Okay. Well, that's my very first slide. My next slide, I'll simply hit the plus button here. Or I can right-click in this area and say New Slide. There's a number of ways of doing this. The plus button is probably the fastest. Now, by default, it's kind of the next logical slide used by a lot of folks, which is a summary slide, which at the top gives me the opportunity to put a kind of a group name on this. So we're going to call this Class 1. And then below there, I can type some text related to Class 1. Now, for this particular example, let's say that I'm going to do the outline for class learning how to use Google Drive. So I might have my first topic as what is Google Drive. I might have something that said launching from like we did Gmail, and I might have learning about Google Docs, which was the very first program we worked on, and then I might send moving on to Sheets, which is the next Google product we learned about. If I'm done making the changes, then I can now customize what I'm editing. So let's say for some reason, or for whatever reason, I want to make that a listing. Well, I've got lists up here, but it's hidden behind this ribbon, so I have to hit the More, and I'm going to take the bullets. It's going to be a simple round bullet for each one of those items that are inside my list for Class 1. I can make additional changes to the transitions by going to Slide, and I can change the transition. Maybe this one I want to go from slide from right. And I can also add pictures and more text to this if I'd like to, using the Insert button or one of the toolbar buttons that's up here. Let's say for now I'm going to add a closing slide. I'm not really happy with that layout, so I'm going to see what layouts I have as my options. I'm going to go Apply Layouts, and maybe what I want for this one, for this one is I just want a blank one, okay? And then, so what I want to put in this one is I want to insert some text. So insert a text box, okay? There's my text box, and what I want to say in that text box is questions, okay? Because I want to ask my viewers if they have any questions. Well, that's obviously a little small. That may not hit the mark in terms of a good presentation, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start playing a little bit with the sizing and centering and stuff like that. So I'm going to go to size 48, okay, which is a much nicer way to go. Let me put this in the middle of the display. which I can do right here. And you're going to find that a lot of these ribbons are very similar as we move from tool to tool. Okay, animation. Let's see. Let's just close that out right now. Let's do slide. Let's do the transition, not animation, but transition, I should say. And let's do a flip for this one. And let me also, I usually have a character for this or an image for this. I don't this time though. I'm going to add a second box down here. Okay. Again, right about in the middle of the screen, I'm going to put basically a question mark there. Because what I want it to do is visually, I want to make sure that people that are in my class understand that if they don't want to read the word questions, they'll know by the fact that I've said questions with a big question mark that that's what I'm at right now. So let's change the font size to, again, a big guy. Let's put him in the middle. I have to go to my secondary menu for that. And it's in the middle. I do believe I can change the colors here too. Let's try to make the background. Oh, let's make it really outrageous, I guess. I don't know. There. And let's make the text color, which is, I gotta find it right here, is going to be, I don't know, red. That's really kind of outrageous. That really kind of gets on the point, I think. I can also box this if I want. I can, again, play with transitions even on, I believe I can just do it on this object here. Let's see, let's fade in. That's fine. I'll click that'll work. And once I'm done with this, as always is the case with all the Google Drive products, it'll automatically save. I can share it with others if I'd like. I can run this as a presentation, and if I hit the present button, it'll automatically go into presentation mode. This will look a little bit funny in this display because I don't have use of full screen when I'm recording the keystrokes for this particular example. I might want to put some notes down here. This ask for any questions. I should apologize for my bad typing, but it's not always my fault. I'm kind of looking at one display, typing on the other display. And when I'm all done with it, I can either, if I'd like to, I could publish to the web. I could download as PowerPoint and give it to someone who might want to take and put some PowerPoint stuff in there or combine it with a PowerPoint presentation. I can also save it as a PDF. Saving it as a PDF is kind of a nice deal because that way a person can watch the presentation slide by slide without actually having either Google Sheets or any other product to watch it with. I could also save it as an image. The problem with that is it's going to be one image at a time. But there's some options there. And again, as I've said before with these classes, you want to experiment, try things, see how it works. From that, you'll learn a lot. Well, hopefully that helps. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.